Hi, I'm Linda Davis, a member of Anna Aspanis' creative team. I'd like to share how I'm using a relatively new product in Anna's store, the PSD Layered Artsy Transfers. I love these transfers, so much in fact that I often wait for them to appear in the store before finishing a layout. They are just as versatile as the Artsy cards that are available in 3x4, 4x6, and 6x6 format for your Project Life pages. In Anna's previous video, Artsy Cards 1, she shared 4 strategies for using the Artsy cards, strategies that are also applicable to using the new Artsy transfers. You can find that video on Anna's YouTube channel. Today, I'd like to share one additional idea for using the new PSD layered Artsy transfers on your Project Life or Photo of the Day layouts. I actually used the transfers on both sides of this 2-page spread that I created for my Photo of the Day book project. But today, I'm just going to share how I use them on the right side to create what you might call an artsy card by blending or layering the layers of an artsy transfer with my own photo. Let's get started. This is one side of the photo-inspired double template number 21. And if you look at, on the bottom right, if you look closely at my layers panel, you'll see I have only one layer clipped to the mask. And you may wonder how I did this. In this case, I worked with the photo as a separate file. And I've already imported that photo into Photoshop. First, I'm going to need to crop my photo to a smaller size so that it will work better with the Artsy transfers. To do that, I go up to Image, Image Size. I'm going to put in the dimensions 4 inches by 4 inches. I'm going to leave the resolution at 300 and click OK. I'm going to enlarge it just a little. And now, before I import before I move over the Artsy layers of the Artsy transfer, I'm going to duplicate this photo 3 times. And I'm going to turn off the top layer and highlight the second one because that's the place where I'm going to move the transfer layers over. Initially, when I started working with these transfers, it really helped me to move systematically so that I could get a better idea of how the layers worked together. Now let's move over. These are the transfers, the layers of the transfer from Artsy Transfers Capture. It's number 2. And I'm going to click on the first one and shift click on the last one and then drag all of the layers over to my photo. Now I'm going to make it just a little larger. Actually, I need it a little smaller because I am going to resize it so that it is works a little better on my 4x4 card. About there, I think. Maybe just over a little bit. I'm going to click the check marked and accept the changes. Now, to work through this process, I have a photo layer that I'm going to turn back on at the top, and you know that I have some extra layers, copies of my photo layer at the bottom, because I may need those if I clip my photo layer, for example, to a texture or a transfer. So let's start. I'm going to move it down. I like that my photo underneath the art stroke, the spatters. Yes, I'm going to leave that. The texture, I love that. I am going to reduce the texture, the opacity of this texture to about 75%, and I'm going to use a keyboard shortcut just typing in 75. And I'm going to move it down a little more. That's also a little heavy for me. I'm going to use my keyboard shortcut, reduce that opacity to 75%, and I'm going to move it down. This texture, I'm going to increase the size so you can see it a little better. I'm going to turn this one off because it's a little heavy for my delicate teacup. And I'm going to move my photo again down. I'm also going to reduce the opacity of this layer, and you'll notice it's on color burn. I'm not even worrying or thinking about changing the blend modes at this time for this project, and I'm going to reduce that to about 80%. I'll move my photo layer down underneath the paint level. I think I'm going to turn that layer off too, and I'm going to move it under the stamp. I'm going to turn that layer off. And then I have another paint layer. I'm going to leave that layer, and I'm going to move it down underneath the stains. I like the stains, but I really would like to have them white. There's a shortcut for changing them. Because my foreground color is white, and I'm on the stains, if I press Option, Shift, Delete, it changes my stains to white. I could also use a fill layer. And let's move those just a little. Next, I'm going to move it below the paint, and I'm going to reduce the opacity of the paint to about 75%. And then I'm going to move it down below these stains. And I like the way that looks with my photo. And then there's another splatter. Oh yes, I want to leave those. Oops. But I want to move those splatters over just a little bit. Now I'm going to, there's a transfer just below this layer, and I am going to clip my photo to this transfer. I'm going to use the shortcut command, Option, Command G, and I'm going to undo that so you can see what happens. See the little icon that appears in my layers panel? Option, Command G, and that clips it to the layer. You can see part of it. Now I need to bring up another photo layer and put it right underneath. I'm also going to clip this photo layer to the paint layer below it using the same shortcut command, Option, Command G, and that clips it. I'm going to turn off these two green paint layers, and I'm going to move up my last photo layer to right here, and that finishes my my little photo card, my Artsy card with my photo. When you're finished, there's a nifty set of key commands that will create a composite for you. The composite is like creating a merged copy of all the layers below, but it's really better for me because by leaving these layers intact, if I change my mind, which I often do, I can delete the composite and make my adjustments and create a new composite. So don't worry if you turned off some of the layers or changed the blend modes or anything. The keystrokes for this are Command, Option, Shift, E, or on a PC it's Alt, Control, Shift, E, and that creates my composite, and I'm going to name it Composite. So if I turn it off, it looks exactly the same. Now I am going to open my layout so you can see both files next to each other. And I have to make sure that I'm on the layer, the mask that I want to use. I'm going to go up here and I'm going to drag only my composite to my mask. It's already clipping it, but I want to resize it. So I'm going to use Command T. I'm going to drag the corners so that I can get it the right size. That's looking just about right. Okay, and I'm going to click the check mark to accept the changes. Move it up just a little. And now I'm going to use that same keyboard shortcut command, Option, Command G, to clip it to the mask. I usually save my edited file back into Lightroom so it resides right along with the original file. Then I can always go back if I need to make some changes. I hope you found this video helpful. Layered PSD transfers offer so many possibilities for creating Artsy pages. If you would like another video on using the Artsy transfers on other layouts, for example, how I created a page like the left side of my two-page spread, please let us know by leaving a comment below or sending Anna an email at anna_aspinus@yahoo.com. Artsy transfers are available in Anna's store under Elements and then Transfers. And if you've not had a chance to view Anna's tutorial on using Artsy cards, it's available in the Anna Aspinus YouTube channel.